And where we hope you'll put in some comments and questions is in that chat area. And I do believe now it's open. Yeah, don't use the Q&A, use the chat. And some say hi, good morning. And we're waiting for our recording to start. That's why we're delayed a little bit, but we are still talking all about TikTok. And we did get a bunch of questions in, where Emily's going to address those today, as well as more. But if questions come up, drop them in the chat to all panelists so we all see them, because I'm going to be monitoring the chat since Emily's the expert and presenter here. So please drop in, say hi, your experience on TikTok so far. Would be great to hear too. It's always good to know the experience level and understand that social is such an ongoing learning thing, and you can't learn it all. So we welcome any comments and suggestions, things we've missed, because it can get shared out to the whole group. So we want it to be as engaging as possible. So please drop in your chats and say hi. We have people still coming on, and I just got to make sure my chat button is open so I see everyone. Yes, why don't I need to see that? Aha, there we go. Oh, excellent. Someone from Liverpool, UK. Welcome. Hi. Okay. And we have our recording tech expert coming in to help us. That's awesome. Oh, and Instagram. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of Instagram, TikTok, Instagram. Why even bother going to TikTok, right, Em? And why on Instagram? And you're going to cover some. I know you had a whole bunch. This could be an entire webinar just comparing the two, but you'll definitely cover that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to cover like the main differences between Instagram and TikTok. There are a lot of key differences and a lot of similarities.
Okay.
But I did pull out, a handful of like some of the major ones, especially when you're comparing the two and trying to figure out which one to spend most time.
Okay. And Vivek is on. Thanks for your question. Vivek's an awesome musician. And he says, I don't love TikTok more than Instagram. Find it a bit overwhelming when I try to do music content and don't feel it hits. Do you have some understanding of that world, Em?
It takes time
Okay.
and a lot of consistency to, get the ball rolling. In most cases, people are posting like 30 to 40 videos before they even start to see anything. But one specific thing that I do cover is the fact that TikTok recycles old content. So if you keep posting stuff, post what you're passionate about, always make sure you're staying on brand, but never delete your content, because depending on the trends, TikTok might pull some of your old content and then reshare it to people's For You pages. So
Okay.
it's all practice. And you know what? At the beginning, it kind of in my opinion, it makes me feel a little more comfortable that people aren't going to be seeing my stuff right away. So it gives you the time to practice and really, find your voice on that platform.
Okay. And it does take practice. And there's a question around duets. So you're going to maybe touch base on that duet piece. And there's a whole bunch of questions coming in. But I do understand that recording, Isha and Mona, recording is set, that we can get started so we don't delay this.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so we'll get started. I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, good morning, everyone. Sorry again about the delay. My name is Mona, and I am the Communications Coordinator for IDEA, and welcome everyone to today's webinar on how to grow your TikTok business, which is a part of our digital marketing series. So today's session is brought to you by the City of Mississauga, presented by IDEA, Mississauga's Innovation Hub. So a bit more about IDEA. IDEA is a part of the City of Mississauga's Economic Development Office. We are your central source of information and guidance for small business owners and entrepreneurs. We are currently providing our services from remotely from Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. and a bit more about, and our land acknowledgement. So to start off, we acknowledge the lands which constitute the present-day City of Mississauga as being part of the treaty lands and traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, the Seneca and Attawandaron and wider Haudenosaunee Confederacy and Huron-Wendat First Nation. We recognize these peoples, the Anishinaabe, the Ojibwe nations within the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Huron-Wendat, and all other people who inhabited these lands since time immemorial. The City of Mississauga is home to First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. As a municipality, the City of Mississauga is actively working towards reconciliation by continuing to strengthen our relationship with Indigenous communities. We formally recognize the Anishinaabe origins of our name and continue to make Mississauga a safe space for all Indigenous peoples. So yes, a bit more about IDEA. So as mentioned before, our services are currently provided remotely Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. We provide free business information and guidance, webinars and workshops, resources and tools, training and mentorship programs, as well as entrepreneurship programs. So one of the services we provide are our business advisory services. These include legal services, accounting services, business operations, sales strategies, digital marketing services, as well as scale-up services. More information on our business advisory services can be found at ideamississauga.ca/contact/business advisory services. Another program we offer is the Digital Main Street program. This program includes a free digital assessment of your business, a chance to enhance your online business presence, provide free one-on-one guidance, resources, and recommendations on growing digitally. Again, more information can be found at ideamississauga.ca/digital Main Street. One of our other programs that is coming up is the Starter Company Plus program. This program offers free training and business skills development, free mentorship and guidance, and the opportunity to apply for a program grant of up to $5,000. The portal to apply for the program has not opened up yet, but we do encourage you to sign up for our e-newsletter on ideamississauga.ca. So a bit more about our team. We are here to help. So we have John Lamb, who is our entrepreneurship and innovation specialist, and Susan Lovelace, who is our small business consultant for IDEA, and their contact information can be found on the slide. So shortly we will be starting off our presentation, but I would like to introduce our panelists for today. We have Laura Dunkley, who is a part of Acorn Studio Marketing. She is a CMO and principal consultant, as well as Emily Watson, who is the creative director. And their contact information can also be found on the slide. So with that, I will be handing it off to our presenters for today.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Mona.
Yes, thank you for that intro. Okay, so welcome everyone to TikTok for Business. I'm really excited. This is a super hot topic, and obviously I get very excited talking about social media. So we are going to dive in. So on today's agenda, so in this webinar, we're going to essentially break down the understanding of the platform, kind of how it works, what's inside of it, who's using it. We're then going to go into how to build a TikTok strategy for your business, then creating the right content for your business. And after creating the content, it's always important to, connect with your community. So we're going to talk about some tips and tricks on how to build that community. We're then going to dive into ads and paid promotions for TikTok and essentially how they work. So understanding the platform. So who uses the app? What makes TikTok different from Instagram, and how does the algorithm work? So who uses the app? So I'm going to quickly go through this part because I know we talked about it in the last TikTok webinar. But as of now, the stats from 2021, there are over 1 billion annual users on TikTok. And then the demographic, it definitely targets more of the younger generation. So the millennials, Gen Z, and then now going into Gen Alpha, which is the younger audience. There is still a percentage of people over the age of 30, hitting the 40s and 50s, So keeping that in mind, essentially, when you do create your content, there, like, everybody's on this platform. There are more than others, but you know what? If your audience is a little bit older, you still have the opportunity to reach them on here. So here are some key differences between specifically Instagram Reels and TikTok. So as most of you know, Instagram Reels, it can get pretty hard to get discovered by new people. Instagram is such a giant platform. Everybody's on it at this point. So it's really hard to, get in front of those new faces. Instagram's recommended posting is about 3 to 5 times a week. Another important thing with Instagram is it's the time of day that you post your content is really important. So that will always fit into your content strategy, whereas TikTok is a little bit different. And another key fact is on Instagram, as of 2020, the average user spends about 23 minutes a day on the app. Before 2020, it was about 52 to 55 minutes a day. So ever since TikTok blew up, the amount of time people spend on Instagram has gone down. Now, going into TikTok, the best part of this platform is that it focuses on new content. And it, when you go onto it, your feed is all new content. They prioritize pushing out, new creators. You actually have to go out of your way to see the feed of all of your followers. TikTok's recommended posting time is actually 1 to 2 times a day. So it is a higher volume of content versus Instagram. Another key thing, which I did mention earlier, is that TikTok actually recycles old content based on trends. So if you have a video that you posted months ago, it didn't perform very well, don't delete it. Because depending on what is trending at the moment, Instagram actually might pull content that was published a couple months ago and reintroduce it to people. The average user also spends about 58 minutes a day on the app, which is a lot of time. I definitely spend way more than that. So how the algorithm works, I know this is a really hot topic, and some important things to remember is that everyone appears on the For You page. So the For You page, for those of you who don't know, is the first page that opens up when you open up the app. So when you post something, everyone appears on the For You page. TikTok is all about the people that you don't know. Whereas if you're comparing it to Instagram, Instagram is all about the people that you follow. So like I said, again, TikTok is all about showing you new content, new faces, introducing new creators. And then talking about the For You pages, everyone's For You page is completely different and unique to their own interests. So it does take time to build up your For You page, but once you do, it's all based on the type of content that you interact with. So for example, my For You page is all about plants, dogs, and social media. And talking about the actual TikTok algorithm itself, there is no hard evidence on how the algorithm works, but the biggest theory on how it works is called the batch theory, and I'm going to explain how that works. So the batch theory, essentially, when your video gets posted, it is pushed out to a small amount of people. Once that video is pushed out, people are watching it, TikTok will evaluate your performance within that small group. And if it performs really well, then it's going to push it out to a larger group. And then it's going to keep going until it no longer performs. And that's when you post a video right away and it's put out to a small group and it does not perform very well, it does not continue to get pushed out to the rest of the audience. That being said, again, you don't delete it because there is a chance that it could get recycled and then, get viewed later on. So now we're going to talk about building a TikTok strategy for your business, how to conduct research, is TikTok even right for your business, how to measure success, and how to better optimize your profile. So how to conduct research. So the best ways to get to know your audience and what others in your industry are posting is actually by using the app. And I know this is going to take time. As a business owner, it's hard to, find time to actually get into the app itself, but this is the best way that you're gonna conduct your research. Spend some time building your business For You page that aligns with your industry content. Pay attention to how others are creating their videos, what trends, like transitions, what features, what audio are they using, that's bringing in people. What type of audience are other people in your industry bringing in? Spend some time in the comment section. And this is a really important one too. If you really want to get to know what your competition and what they're bringing in, is go to their comment section. What questions are people asking? What type of people are they bringing in? Is there a specific group that you can identify in their comments? But now, okay, you've done your research. So now understanding if TikTok is actually right for your business. TikTok is one of the fastest growing platforms. But why do you want to use it for your business? So here are some questions that you should really ask yourself. So after you've done your research, think about like who you want to reach. So is your audience actually on the platform? Are they engaging with your industry on the platform? How will you keep them interested off platform? And I will talk about a little bit of that later. But now, like thinking about your industry itself, like is there an interest of your industry? Is your industry common or unique on TikTok? And if it's common, how are you going to leverage that? And how are you going to make yourself stand out compared to everybody else? And now, if your industry is unique, how are you going to leverage that? How are you going to now get in front of these people and bring awareness to your industry and your services or product? Some ways on measuring success. So TikTok is a very simple platform, which means there are simple reactions people make with your content, and those simple reactions make a big difference in your overall performance. So some ways to measure success. So some of the common ones are the views. So the amount of people that actually have, viewed your video. Keep in mind that those views, one view counts the second a video starts playing. So this doesn't tell you if they've actually watched the whole thing. So if they're scrolling and they, just scroll past your video, the second it plays, it counts as a view. So this is a very minor stat. However, this is what we consider a vanity stat, just like followers. So people will go over to your profile and let's see how many people have viewed that video. It doesn't actually, do well for you, but it can drive people in. Likes is another really good one. So when someone, clicks the little heart on your video, means that they like it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're following you. So now the next step is to actually get them into the comment section. So the comments are probably one of the best, KPIs that you can get for a video, because it keeps the conversation going and it gets people engaged. And another really important thing too is to always reply to your comments, because that reply will also count as one as well. Shares are also another really good one. So when a viewer shares your video with someone else or to another platform, it counts as somebody sharing, or when you click that little arrow in the bottom right-hand corner to copy a link to send to somebody else, that is also counts as a share. Followers are another really good one too. So when evaluating your TikTok performance, your follower growth rate is actually more important than the actual number of followers. So this is a vanity metric. People look at the followers and they see how much you have. It's like, oh, this person is really great. But TikTok does not see it that way. It is the consistent growth of followers that they really want to look for. Another one is link clicks. So this is actually how many people are clicking the link in your bio. Now, this is a stat to help you understand how many people are actually going off of the platform to learn more about you. This is a really important metric because it's very difficult to get people off of the platform, and TikTok does everything that they can to keep people on it. So this is a really important metric to watch out for. Another really good one too is to keep track of how many people have clicked your LinkedIn and your YouTube link on your profile, again, going off the platform. Some ways to measure success. So understand the other engagement KPIs for your videos more behind the scenes. So the stats in your analytics will help you determine what content is connecting with your audience. So the total playing time, so the total length of your video that has been played to your viewers, your profile views, so how many people have gone off of the For You page, which again is very important to view your profile. So keep track of these stats and what content was released at the same time. And then your traffic source. So where are they finding your content? Are they finding you on the For You page? Are they finding your content after they go over to your personal profile, or is it solely based on your followers? So some best tips to optimize your profile. So when bringing your viewers from the For You page to your profile, you want to keep them around. So here are some quick things you can do to optimize your profile for your business. So defining your page as a business is a really, really big one. Once you do that, you will definitely be able to get more analytics. Whereas if you kept it as a profile, you're very limited on the amount of stuff that you can do. You also want to establish your brand. So just like you would like on Instagram, on your website, LinkedIn, all of that stuff. So your fonts, your colors, your title styles, etc. So you are limited on the amount of like graphics that you can use within Instagram, but do what works for you and then keep it consistent. Make sure your profile picture is very high res. Or if you are a brand and you have a logo, use the logo. If you are more of a personal brand, I do recommend using a profile picture. And another fact is that users on TikTok engage better with people versus brands. And I know that's kind of hard to play around with, but they would rather see real people than an actual brand. But that's when it comes into your content strategy and what kind of content you will be creating, which we will get into. Your bio link is also really important as well. Your bio link and your actual bio. So you want to keep it simple, clear, and what you do because you only have 80 characters. The links for your Instagram and YouTube, you want to continue, if they do go off of the app, you want to continue that relationship. So you want them to go over to your Instagram and your other profile accounts. And then creating a custom bio link to make the user experience more seamless. So as shown on the image on the right, this user does have a very, graphically appealing profile page, but then his bio link does make it super easy for people to engage with him further. It doesn't just go to a straight website. He's actually giving them really clear options on what he wants them to do next. So now we're going to talk about creating the right content for your business. So the types of content, creating a strategy, and how to create viral content. I know that's a big one, so I'm really excited to talk about that. So types of content. So there are many different styles from amateur content to professionally filmed content. So basic video styles are the block style, which are like short trailers, very similar to like IG, like Instagram stories. How-tos, so like tips, tricks on a specific topic. Entertainment videos, so these are the satisfying reacting videos, like that wow factor, things that don't see very often. Sound-centered videos, which are using trending audio or music to fit a story. And then live stream. So live streaming is actually only available for accounts with over 1,000 followers. But that is a really cool tool. And a key point with live stream is that people actually don't get notified that you're going live unless they follow you. So it's actually pretty difficult to bring in people with a live stream unless you promote it or if you have a lot of followers. So creating your content. So your TikTok content should follow the same rules as your other platforms, really utilizing those content pillars to brainstorm and plan your videos. So some of like the most popular content pillars that your content is probably based on is entertainment, thought leadership, awareness, and then promotional. So going into TikTok, so how often should I be posting each pillar? So every platform is different. And with TikTok, they definitely focus more on the entertainment and thought leadership part of it. So having, those like wow factors, like things you don't see anymore, keep people entertained. That thought leadership, so sharing something that most people don't know. And then they want to share that with their friends as well. Awareness is another really good one. It is shared about less often. And then promotional. So this is when you would be selling your product. This is when you are, showcasing a sale, something like that. Should be used very little. TikTok actually doesn't prefer when people are selling their product on this app. This is where you have to get creative. So now After following your content pillars, there are 3 types of content that you should create: reactive, proactive, and interactive content. So reactive is the videos, that follow trends, like trending audio, trending hashtags, filters, and other relevant media. This content should make up the majority of your page and is posted more frequently to build exposure. Your proactive content is the pre-planned content. So it should be original content, not so much based on trends, posted on a consistent schedule to make sure you're on track, and content that should essentially be produced more quickly with minimal effort in production. And this content will actually connect you with your community and showcase what your brand is about. Interactive content is reserved for your brand's most important events like campaigns and product launches. This could be like a higher quality video without being like overly produced, because TikTok doesn't like that as much. Now, how to create viral content. So viral content, there's no guarantee that a video will go viral, but there are some ways to help you make content more discoverable. So the best mixture for viral content is it's short, it's using trending audio, and it's entertaining. Other viral video trends are creating a seamless loop. So things that, will keep people watching again and again and again. And then having early adopters of trends. So this is really where your research comes in. And this is spending time on the app to know what other creators are producing, what other people in your industry are doing. There are also other apps that you can download to help you stay on top of trends. One of the apps that I use that I actually didn't link here, but Laura and I can send afterwards, is called Tik-Tock. And it'll help you actually stay on top of trending audio. Also using trending hashtags. So if it's for a challenge, or if it's singling out like a group of people, using those, but also being very specific. And sharing world news. That is a very popular viral video trend. However, you do need to be careful with that one and be prepared for the comments that you might get. Another really good one is asking a question. So anything to help bring people to the comments, answering your questions, asking a question, or answering a question with a question. You always want to continue with that conversation and keep the conversation going.
Just going back to that, is that where they do duets? Where, if somebody asks a question and you can respond to
Yeah,
that
so
question?
duets are really fun. However, it doesn't always guarantee that you are going to get put in front of the audience of the person you are duetting. But it does showcase that user, and it can make people feel more familiar because sorry, just keep getting comments. It makes people familiar because they see a familiar face, and now they're getting more familiar with you. So it is really good. Just make sure that you are staying on brand with that, because sometimes duets can look a little messy with a business brand. But if you are reacting to something another influencer did or something another creator did, it can be really beneficial to bring your communities together.
So that was one of the comments, which I will bring forward to you, is the duets and stitches. Is one better than the other, or is there it's a certain time you should be doing one or the other?
It depends on your strategy and what kind of content you want to put out. Honestly, play around with it, see which one works best. And I guess one thing I didn't mention is that it really doesn't matter what time of day you post or what time you're posting. But this is a chance for you to explore TikTok, figure out which ones are doing best. And it's going to come with time to figure out what your audience is doing. If your audience is interacting more with stitching versus duetting, try that out. And then if that's not working, try duets. This is your chance to explore. And it's not as of a formal platform as, LinkedIn, Facebook, even like Instagram. You can get really creative with all of this.
Right. Thanks, Sam.
No problem. Okay. So now we're going to get into growing your TikTok community. This is the fun part. This is when you can bring everybody together. So creating an engagement strategy, just like you would for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, growing your audience past TikTok. And then I'm going to show you one of my favorite case studies after this as well. So now we're going to create an engagement strategy. So how to engage with your audience. You're going to engage through your comments section. You're going to engage through likes, interacting in the comment section of other creators, like how I mentioned before in your industry. Now try answering questions in other people's comment sections. Getting in front of their audience. This is the best way to announce yourself to somebody else, because if I put a comment in one video and then I have another business who commented the answer before the actual person, we can keep the conversation going. Then I'm actually more likely to go and check out their profile. And make sure that you keep your comments genuine. Always try and keep the conversation going and going. Your engagement strategy should be very similar to Instagram. And the best thing that I can recommend is, create a schedule based around your content schedule.
Saying that about a schedule, I mean, you may talk about this later, but can you schedule posts on TikTok, or is there any third party that lets you schedule to TikTok?
You can schedule reminders. One of the platforms that we use is Plan, and it helps you kind of schedule your content. It doesn't actually post for you, but it can help you set reminders and make sure that you're staying consistent with your schedule.
Okay.
So now, how to grow your audience past TikTok. So you've grabbed them, you've hooked them. Now, how do you continue that relationship? So as a business owner, the goals with social media is to always drive traffic back to your website. So now, how can you do that with TikTok? The best thing that you do is mention things about your business that can, only be found on your Instagram or YouTube page. So maybe if you start a story and then you end it with be like, oh, I talk more about it on my Instagram page, and then people might go over to your profile, click your Instagram, and then go and find that post. Also sharing relatable and engaging stories that will want people to learn more about you and about your brand. Focus on building trust with your audience and, not selling your services and your products. Just build that community instead. Engage with your community on other videos, by creators in your industry. So going back into commenting on other people's content. So case study, one of my favorite.
Can I just jump in here?
Mhm.
Do you talk about hashtags? I can't remember. Or
I don't talk specifically about hashtags, but I'm happy to answer questions about hashtags at the end.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
One of my favorite brands to follow, and I always, lead by example, is Gymshark. So we're going to talk about why Gymshark is one of the most successful brands on TikTok. So Gymshark, for those of you who don't know, is a athletic clothing company based out of the UK, and they're actually one of like the fastest growing brands in the UK. So Instagram's content is almost all created by influencers. So they actually don't have to do a lot of work because it's created by other people, and they just share it. They have created their own team of brand ambassadors, essentially to make content for them. They're very clear on their target audience. So, like the millennial and Gen Z, it's very obvious. Obviously, they sell to other people, but they advertise specifically to millennials and the younger generation. Their videos aren't selling you a product. They're selling you a community, and they're selling you a lifestyle. So not one of their videos showcases, oh, buy my product. None of that. They are using reactive content, so trending audio and challenges. They are on this app like multiple times a day, posting anything trending related. And then they're showing stuff that you don't see every day. So some of their most viral videos are of these athletes doing tricks and stuff that you don't see day to day. So that's that wow factor, that they have that entertainment piece. So I do want to dive into a little bit on ads and paid promotions on TikTok and essentially how they work. So TikTok is a fast-acting and newer platform that has recently introduced ad space. There are also multiple ways to utilize influencers to promote your products and services. So you can get really creative with this app. They are limited on the amount of stuff they can do compared to Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. But a lot of the stuff can actually be done through the app, or it can also be done online in regards to ad space. But first, we're going to talk about paid promotions and shout outs. So this is when you would work with an influencer to help you get your product in front of your audience. It's always important, just like with any other platform, to remember when you're looking for influencers, you want to pay attention to their engagement versus their followers. Because if they have a whole bunch of followers, but they're only getting like 100 views on their video, their engagement rate is very low. So it's always about making sure that they connect with their audience so they can help you sell your product. There are also helpful resources like the Influencer Marketing Hub and TikTok Money Calculator to help you figure out how much it's going to cost you essentially to work with an influencer based on their followers and your product. You can also use the TikTok Creator Marketplace to help you discover influencers as well. So types of ads and paid promotions. Now we're going to talk about the actual paid promotion itself. So on the side here, you will see Reese's is one of their ads that pop up, and I'll talk about that in a second. So when using the TikTok Ads Manager, you can submit your created ad and enter your budget, very similar to Facebook ads as well. So there's a few types of TikTok ads. There's the brand takeover, which is the type of ad that allows you to dominate the conversation as your message takes over the whole screen for a few seconds. So this is the one that, like, the very beginning. So when you first open the app, this is the one that will show up. And then it'll turn into a feed video as you continue to watch it. So your branded content. So this is the ads that can appear as branded stickers, lenses, and other types of AR content. Some brands will also develop like filters and stuff for challenges. It's a great way to promote brand awareness. That one is a little bit more complicated to do though. Your in-feed video, so which is the one shown on the right with Reese's. So these are the ads that appear among the native news feed. So as you're scrolling, every once in a while you will come across a video. The best ad videos are the ones that don't look like ads until that little shop now button shows up at the bottom. In most cases, you might just think it's another video and you want to continue watching it. But in the end, it's actually an ad. The hashtag challenge is also another really good one too. So this type of ad allows you to show up in like the discover section of the app, and you can, encourage other users to participate. And this also allows you to group people together, and you can figure out how many people are actually using that hashtag. Sponsored influencer content, so that's what we mentioned earlier, is, leveraging influencer marketing to help promote your product. Some of the key takeaways today is that TikTok is an endless feed that pushes and promotes new content. TikTok is a high maintenance platform that wants you to always create content based on trends. You want to understand your analytics and essentially how they're going to help you when it comes to creating new content. And TikTok wants genuine and engaging content and doesn't want brands to sell their product. And I am happy to answer any questions at the moment.
Awesome. Okay, so while the questions are coming through, can you talk a little bit more about the hashtags and the differences? Because I know things have changed even on Instagram.
Yeah.
So what's going on with
Yeah.
that?
So with Instagram, as you know, the amount of hashtags that are recommended to use is changing all the time. So now actually on Instagram, it's recommended to use 3 to 5 hashtags. Whereas I've been playing around with it and I still find like that soft number is anywhere between like 5 to 12. In regards to TikTok, because you are very limited on the amount of character space, very similar to Twitter, you're very limited on the amount of character space you have actually in your caption section. It's recommended to use 2 and 3 max hashtags that are very specific to your content. I know as you scroll, you'll see hashtags and you'll see hashtag FYP, which is hashtag For You page. A lot of people think that that hashtag, if you use that, it'll actually get you onto the For You page, which there's no proof that it will keep you on the For You page longer because everybody gets on the For You page at some point. That does just use up a lot of space. When thinking about hashtags for TikTok, think about the community that you are going to get into by using that specific hashtag. For example, if you wanted to participate in a challenge, like you would use that challenges hashtag to get you into that community. Because if you click on a hashtag, very similar to Instagram, it'll show up all the people that have used that hashtag. So it's almost like getting onto another page by using that hashtag. So make it specific and think about what group of people you want to be involved with.
And what about putting them in comments?
I haven't found any research that is actually effective. I mean, you can definitely do it, and it does show up as like a direct link over into that group. If that hashtag in the comment actually gets you over to that group, I'm not too sure.
Okay. Yeah, lots in the world of hashtags. If there's any other questions, please drop them down into the area, in your chat area. That would be great, and I'll bring them forward to Emily.
Am I okay to
So
stop sharing?
yeah,
Yeah.
then it's
And then
much
we can have a
easier.
conversation.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Not that I don't love the slides, and anyone late joining, we will be sending out, which is why Emily put so much content in the slides, so you'll have this as a takeaway, to supplement the video. The other thing is, we will send out that Trend Talk link afterwards as well. And I think there is one question, and then I do have some other ones. Somebody creates a skincare product. Should the content include actual use of the products? I would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. But this is where you can get really creative with it. So maybe you could do like a get ready with me in the morning. And, almost like tell a story of your morning routine by using your skincare. You could compare the skincare to somebody else's skincare, obviously being careful with that. How to use the skincare, what time of day you should be using skincare. So this is when you can bring awareness to it. And then, throw in some entertaining ones. So you could showcase a video on how messy your bathroom counter is with all of your skincare products and then show you kind of cleaning it up. So creating content that is relatable to your users and thinking it's like, oh yeah, like, I do that all the time. It's really nice to know that my bathroom is not the only bathroom that's super messy. So creating content that fits the lifestyle of your viewer.
And it goes back to that target audience. And I know it comes up every time I do a session, because really knowing your target audience and understanding how they feel and think and what motivates them is going to help you develop content, right? Like if they're aging skin or they have trouble skin or things like that, it's like, hey, there's this great tip, and really focus on one tip at a time, right? Not throw out too many things because you want frequency, but one thing at a time, right?
Yeah. Another thing that I didn't really touch on, there's just so much information, but now I'm going to mention it, is answering comments with videos. This is a really amazing way to increase your engagement, to bring other people forward, and then, awareness, right? And then people can click on that comment from the video and go over to your original video where somebody asked it. So it's continuing the conversation, and this can really help you with building content as well. If you're not too sure what to post, go in and answer some comments with a video.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know you could do that. That's
Oh yeah,
very
and
interesting.
you can do that on Instagram now too.
What?
I know, as of like a few weeks ago. So fun fact for the day. It's really cool.
Someone was asking about extra resources. You did a bunch of research. We'll add that in maybe when we do the slides afterwards to send
Yeah,
some.
I'll send out some links as well. There's a lot of resources for ads and helping you find creators, and keeping on track with trends. But honestly, guys, like the best thing to do is just use the app. Figure out what people are doing, what they're watching, what they're engaging with, and build your business's For You page around your industry.
Mm. Okay. And that's, the hardest thing I think for us to find time. Maybe there should be a TikTok about how to find time to use TikTok when you're not a TikTok person.
Yes, but don't think of it as, spending time on social media. Think of it as, this is what you need to do for your business. Like
Research.
this is research hours. Look, what's the difference between spending time on TikTok, doing your research versus, Googling and testing out these other resources? Like, just find out what works best for you. Do you want to sit on a computer and Google, or do you want to do research and be entertained at the same time?
One of the other somebody is in the legal profession and asking if they should be on it. And I think you and I have this conversation a lot because we work with professional services. I come from that professional, more B2B background. It's like, really, should I be on this? And you, because as a millennial, kind of you're on the cusp, millennial kind of world, right? Is that there's a lot of thought leadership that's happening that I would not have thought, like stocks,
Yeah.
accounting, legal.
So one of the people that I follow on my personal page is a police officer in the GTA. And he posts a lot of videos on things that you probably didn't know, like how the demerits work on your license, or, how speed cameras work. Because like you're just told, but you're not really taught. So he kind of, breaks up like the stereotype and like, what people might think, and gets really into it. And I also follow another person on, she talks about legal stuff in regards to proposals, and she puts out a lot of really good information. I actually save her videos to go back and look at later when I actually, am in the process of putting together a proposal.
Okay, there we go. Answered that question. That's good. I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Oh, building a global presence. Any suggestions on reaching customers from different cultures? What if you have mixed cultures?
Wow.
So what if you have there's a good one, a local market plus an international market. Do you have two separate TikTok accounts? Do
Mm.
you mix them?
I don't know
What
if I
is
would
it?
have two separate ones,
Okay.
unless you treat it as two separate businesses.
Mm.
Then maybe think about having two separate ones, but that's a lot of extra work for you.
I know,
Um,
but it can be very distinctly different in the styles of
mm,
different cultures. How do you manage that?
I would take a look at your content, and if you are creating content that you want to relate to one specific region, but it's not relatable to the other, see if you can almost bring the two together. So, how are you now going to introduce something to both sides and keep both entertained? That's a really tricky one. Um, it also might be something where you test out, and it could be only one region you're getting attention from, and then maybe focus on that. It might be one of those things that you don't have both audiences on that app.
Mm. Yeah, that's more of a larger content strategy picture.
Mhm.
And I know in the social media 201, we talk about how you have an overall social media strategy, but then you have platform specific strategies to different audiences and maybe a certain culture, maybe on one brand more than the other, so that the mix might change and the type of content. So I would take a step back for sure and have a look at that. And then making sure you're always on brand, no matter what,
Mhm.
across the world, you still have to have those consistent brand messages. So make sure that you're very clear on that too, right? Someone is, I'm going to come back to the video and trending music. I think that's a much larger conversation. Someone is asking about, which is kind of dear to our hearts too, a sustainable and ethical fashion business through TikTok, and any tips you might have on building awareness.
Oh yeah,
I
awareness is a
know.
big one.
Mm.
You know what? Sharing things that people might not know, the average person, and showing what the impact people are having on the planet if they're doing certain simple tasks. For example, if they're doing something in the kitchen and they don't compost or something afterwards, maybe share what happens afterwards. and giving people, you know, that wow factor in your awareness, like a you probably didn't know type of video. And but again, making it relatable and sharing simple things that they can do to help, you know, change their lifestyle.
Hmm. And this is where your online and external research can go into what kind of questions are they asking. I know one of the big thing in the fashion industry is, you know, how can I trust the brand? You know, the messaging and things like that. And they want to know that supply chain, right? Like, and so show them where it's manufactured or show them how it's going and show them how you are, you know, reaching your SDGs and think like put little things. What even does that matter? So that is keep it fun. Don't get too heavy, what I would say, right? On TikTok, Emily
Yeah, and
is.
the only thing that I would be careful with that is if you are going through the process of exposing other brands, you might want
Oh.
to, you know, not do that. Like I know Shein is a very popular clothing brand with like younger millennials and like Gen Z, but they are like one of like the leading like fast fashion industries, and a lot of brands will call out or a lot of, you know, people will call out Shein, but you have to be careful from a legal standpoint. So maybe just bring awareness to the overall like fast fashion, for example.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would
Or
just be
what you're
careful with that.
doing as a business is mostly I would stick to what you're focused on. So if you're a brand, how are you going to not greenwash, right? Like how are you going to be ethical? And rather
Yes.
than talking about anybody else, you just talk about what you're doing and how you're being
Or
awesome or
even like
wow, right?
what is greenwashing? Like what
Right.
is like all of this terminology that people are using, and just kind of like things to look out for about greenwashing. Like how do you know
Mhm.
if somebody's doing it? Like you could really get into it, but the best thing that I can, I guess, say is keep it simple. So talk to people like this is the first time that you're talking to them about this industry. So what are some common terminology that you need to educate them? And once you start educating them, you get these followers, then you can dive a little bit more into it and get more advanced. But keep it simple and relatable is probably the
Mhm.
best thing I can say.
Mhm. I totally agree. And start and just get started, right? And start learning, like you mentioned, get
Yeah.
on there. And I know people want to understand a little bit more on tips on creating these videos, like with trending music. Is there any specific editing software? Any tips you can throw out, Em?
Honestly, if you're getting started, just use the app. The app has a lot of really good editing software already in it. All of the audio's in there, all of the filters. You can add text to speech if you really wanted to, closed captions. Um, a platform that I use is Adobe Rush. However, it can get very complicated when you're importing audio. But if you want to use trending audio, just do it within the app. And then you can save your drafts and go back and work on it later.
Oh, that's good to know. And can you
Yeah.
and so what's the idea too about exporting it and using it somewhere else? Is that a no-no?
You can do that, but anytime you export a video from TikTok, it'll have a watermark, like a TikTok watermark. And if someone is to, say, take their TikTok video, export it, and then put it onto Instagram, Instagram scans it and doesn't put out videos that have the TikTok watermark
Mm,
as well as if it wouldn't. There are tricks to get around it, like doing screen recordings before you export it, and then taking that screen recording and putting it onto Instagram.
okay. Um, all right, that's good to know. I mean, it adds so much extra work, but I think once you get into it, you become better at it, you
Yeah,
know?
and
Okay.
and always remember too, like your content strategy is going to be different on Instagram than it is on TikTok. So, I mean, feel free to it'll definitely save you time. But your content on Instagram isn't going to always be the same as on TikTok. So maybe if there is a video that you really want to have on TikTok and Instagram, just make sure it aligns with both.
Okay.
And you're not treating your Instagram feed like you would your TikTok feed.
Okay. So, music on TikTok, and this has been coming up in a few of these comments and has been a question for me is what's the best? I mean, trending music. Okay. So, pulling from trending music. But what if you are a musician and you want to
Mhm.
use your own music? Or what if there's other music that you've purchased elsewhere? Is there, I know those are two questions, but can you talk to us about different music ideas?
Are you talking about for musicians specifically?
Okay, so let's, on the musician world, is there any tips? Like, can you become trending music? Is there
Oh
anything that
yeah.
they need to be aware of if they're putting their own
Oh,
content out?
the best things in my personal
Okay.
experience for musicians is creating new things on the app. So, for example, there's a musician that I follow, and people put in like comments, be like, "Hey, can you make a song about, I don't know, a dog riding a unicycle?" And he'll write like a little like 30-second like diddle or ditty or like of like a song. Like it's super random, and then showcasing your skills and your talent, and because this is a skill that not a lot of people can harness. So showing that, and people love that, they go nuts. Or if duet somebody else and try and like harmonize with them. There's another person that takes little video clips if it's like a consistent sound or something. Like if, I don't know, say somebody drop something on the ground and it makes kind of like a little beat, he'll take that, put it on a loop, and he'll make a song around of it. Like you can get so creative as a musician, and showcase your song, showcase like the process, show why you wrote that song, make it like, if it's a song about a breakup, be like, yeah, I wrote this song, or I went through a breakup, so I wrote a song and here it is. And you just play the song, like
And
just
the one
yeah.
the one you showed me was the guy playing the guitar. But he was like anyone could sing. Like I think he had one chord and he just kind of spoke it. Really, it was quite
And
entertaining.
singing about trends. And I
Yeah.
think that's what some of the music that came out recent, like the end of like 2020 going into 2021, was about. you know the state our world was in, and having to stay inside, and not being able to see people, like making music relatable.
Hmm. Okay. So
Super
that's
cool.
excellent for musicians. For us non-musicians who want to
Yeah.
use commercial music, are there anything we need to think about for licenses or where to source it or what we should and shouldn't do?
I would first look on the app and see if there's the music is there first. There are ways to, I guess, upload music if you really wanted to. I would be careful on the legal parts of that specific song. Wherever you downloaded it from could have its own licensing. Um, in most cases, though, there's a lot of music on TikTok, like a lot.
Okay.
So I would start there
Start.
first, and then if you can't find it, then I would just look into where you're getting the music from, and see if you can replicate it.
Okay. Awesome. Please, we're still here for a while longer if you have more questions and you want to stay on. Um, there's someone specifically, and if you have a specific industry question, throw it out there and get ideas from everyone else too. Feel free to throw them in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. So let's just crowdsource some ideas. Someone has a dessert business,
Oh
and
my goodness. Yes.
so okay, so a dessert and design business. You have two of them. Maybe we'll just talk about the dessert one first. So I'm
Okay.
sure eating food seems to be a big thing. Any ideas what you could do for
Oh
dessert?
yeah, for dessert stuff, time lapse. Like I want to see how a
Yeah.
cookie's made. I want to see how a cake is made. There's this one follower, and I don't remember her name, but she decorates cakes. But she also she has this like cake that she uses for all of her decorating and all of her videos, and she sticks it in the freezer, because she doesn't want to bake a cake every single time. So she just has this like, and she named it like Bertha or something. She's like, "Oh, I'm getting out Bertha. We're gonna make a cake today," and she'll talk about the process. So she'll film what it looks like afterwards. Do the pretty one, but then she'll do the whole process, and like the not so pretty side of cooking, and she'll. I don't know if maybe she films like her entire session making this cake and then pulls out the bloopers. Like she'll do a whole blooper video. It's so cool. Like yeah, you can have a lot of fun with baking.
Okay, and on that note, we know someone who's on this call today who is a baker, and she puts in recipe videos, cooking videos, baking videos, decorating, tips for baking, and cake
Oh,
decorating.
yes.
Thank you for those ideas. We know, and she's a social media person too, so she's got some
Oh,
great
amazing.
ideas for that. And then what? And design business. Oh my goodness! So let's talk about design because you've shown me some really cool ones where it's like a beside behind the scenes of of how to make these food videos. Remember, it was like
Oh,
this
yeah. It was a
tips on.
film production company
Yeah.
and who make like crazy, like have machines that like fly in from the walls, but it's showing the behind the scenes and things that people don't normally see. So as much as you could showcase this like crazy produced video of a hamburger flying around, I want to see how it's made. Like I want to see someone like in the back, like showing the machine coming in and actually doing it. Like those are the stuff that perform well. That's that wow factor and the things you don't see all the time.
Mm,
And
yeah.
like it's the behind the scenes of the industry is what people like really want to see.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else who has a specific industry they want ideas on, we're happy to brainstorm on those. Going back to the music, though, I think it's a big challenge. Something about personal accounts versus business accounts. Is there where you can have it through a personal account but not your business account? That there's only certain jingles available. And then how do you add a song? Do you know of any of those challenges?
Um, I haven't heard of any of those challenges. I do know from a personal standpoint, the more you use the app, the more that it, you know, becomes available to you, just like any other platform and like new features. So there could be a possibility that maybe your personal platform you're spending more time on. So you're getting introduced to it a lot more. Whereas your business you might not be spending a lot of time on. Um, yeah, I haven't heard of any issues with that.
Hmm. And the length of video, I know we talked a bit about that too. So is someone's mentioning about if you're new to TikTok, 15 seconds long is all you get. Is that true?
I don't know if it's still true. Um,
Mm,
as of right now, you can do 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and 3 minutes. I do believe you have to have X amount of followers to do 3 minutes. And TikTok is actually working on putting out 10-minute videos, which I'm not sure how that's going to translate, but that is in the works apparently. It
yeah.
might just be something where you have to keep using the app. Like they might not give you all of the features right away. Just use the app and see if the feature comes in.
Okay. Yeah. It's and it always changes. So even
Always
as
changing.
Emily's presenting stuff today, always make sure you go in. That's where going into the app constantly because you'll see those. So when things do in this, is this the same on TikTok? It's Instagram. If
Yeah.
something new comes out and you jump on that new feature first, you'll actually get pushed forward.
Yeah. So if you are
Yeah.
an early adapter to new features, Instagram will learn that. And anytime a new feature comes out, you are more likely to get exposed to that feature before a lot of other people who might not be using the app as frequently.
Okay. So yeah, so spend more time. I mean, that's a key takeaway, isn't it? We just have to spend more time and try and
Well,
get
yeah,
out there.
the like all these social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok, like they want you to spend time on the app. Like that's they don't like it when people leave. It's they
Mhm.
want you to engage and do stuff.
Yeah, and that's across the board, right? YouTube,
Yeah.
Instagram, everyone. So someone is working at a university and they're going to do a student-led TikTok about getting back. Totally can understand this, especially post-COVID, helping them get excited, engaged, probably bring awareness around certain protocols, maybe getting comfortable again because it really did interrupt social norms and even just to know what they can and can't do. Any ideas on even
Yeah,
things to
just
do?
creating things that again are relatable. So how are students feeling? Like what are they doing? Are they feeling super nervous? Like maybe you could do a video of a student maybe walking into a classroom and everybody's kind of like sitting in the corners because they don't want to like talk to everybody. Nobody knows how to be like social anymore. And or you could do a video of like someone trying to like go like shake a hand with like another student and they don't really know what to do. And it's okay to be uncomfortable. We're all uncomfortable. Nobody knows how to behave anymore.
Um,
And like certain things that students are doing, and yeah, just making it relatable and letting them know that they're not the only one doing it. And I think that's one of the biggest things about TikTok is the amount of like awareness that has come out to certain things. Um, and realizing that like there's so many other people experiencing it.
and that is more comfortable in the millennial Gen Z world, I think, compared to Gen X and, the boomers, the older generation, because we were, kind of our cultural norm was not to talk about certain things. And you guys are going, no, we got to talk about this. So this is where, if you are leading this, like from me, from a strategy standpoint, I would say like go out to your students who are the users, get those brand ambassadors, get that focus group on board and ask them what they think. What are those questions? Get really to understand it and help them develop the strategy. And then you oversee, the messaging and the brand to make sure it's consistent and okay with the university. And that's where the two generations, and I know Emily, you and I have this conversation all the time where, we go back and forth and I check with Emily. It's like, oh, does this resonate with your generation? And then it goes back and forth. So make sure you definitely touch base with your students to make sure it's right, because things that I think are cool are not cool. Even using that word, do we use that word anymore? So
So this is
uh,
when you can really utilize your brand ambassadors.
yeah.
Like Laura was saying, and going back to that Gymshark case study, they all of their content is based on like it's done by their creators. Like it's not actually done by the people that work in Gymshark. It's all of their ambassadors. So maybe you have a team of students or something that work in the college. I know when I went to college, I was a tour guide for all the new people. So maybe you get like you approach some of these like little individual like groups of students in the college and be like, hey, can you put together some TikToks? Like we'd love to feature it um, on the page. Like that could be really good. And then it'll save you time and save you the stress of actually creating the content. You would just have to manage the incoming content.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I love it. That's great. Any more questions? If not, we will wrap it up. So much to talk about. Emily, you did have a few extra slides too. You might have some bonus material that you send out to everyone afterwards, right?
Yes, I do have a couple extra slides on like specifics on the difference between like Instagram and TikTok. There's a lot, and I did have to take out some slides because it would have gone on forever.
It would have been an entire webinar,
Yeah,
Instagram
but I
versus
am
TikTok.
happy. I'm happy to like add in those slides as well. And
Okay.
then always just keep in mind, like things are always changing. Like for example, the whole comment video thing just got introduced to Instagram. So I think I actually might have to take out that line because it just changed. So it's always changing. And TikTok was a very early adapter to a lot of features, and all the other social media platforms are playing catch up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's yeah, trying to stay as relevant as possible, I guess.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Emily, for all your wisdom. It's a lot I learned about TikTok. I hope everyone else did as well. And feel free to connect with us. I've still got to launch the whole TikTok thing. I think Emily's on there, but you can also, we'll drop in our website if you guys want to find out all of our other social links as well and connect with us. Keep the conversation going. I'll drop that in. This is where you can find us, and we're good. So have you guys have a great day. Be well, and we have a bunch of other webinars coming up. I do believe Mona and Isha will be sending that link out to for the future ones. Like video strategy is one we're gonna kind of jointly do on that one, building an online business. And what is the other one? Oh, how to use social media to make money, which is okay. So that, and as we close that, that's a big one. Building a community doesn't always have to be around, it can help your business grow without necessarily making money right away. in, you know, the money. It's a long-term game. So there's the short-term game and the long-term game. So you and I will jointly do that one as well. And we have a digital marketing boot camp 4-part series as well coming up starting next week that I'll be leading. And that is part of the Idea Mississauga outreach too. So thanks for them for sponsoring us and getting us to do that. All right. All right. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. I will
Yes, thank you.
let the other crew come in wherever they are. And Mona and Isha are somewhere hiding in the background. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone, and hopefully you guys will connect with us through our website and all our other social times. So we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you so much.